Oh, not so much. It's
No.
all right.
We're very informal here.
Reading. It's informal.
Are these stacked in order again? Are you Karen?
What?
Are you Karen?
This is Pamela Smith.
Pamela.
She needed to go first because she's got another obligation
Oh,
tonight.
okay.
So, and it should be on the screen as well,
Screen.
in front of you.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, yeah.
Your monitor, I should say.
All right.
Good. Let's see. Sorry.
Bill has to read something, so we're waiting for him.
And we're kind of eating while we're working here, so please forgive us for that.
Yeah, unique.
All right, your candidate interview scheduled for 10 minutes total. You have 3 minutes to provide an opening statement and answer one question from each council member. Time management during the interview is up to you. You'll be evaluated based on your application and interview responses. If there is a pause between questions, it's probably because they're chewing, or council members are taking notes. If you need a question asked, repeated, please ask. After your interview, you can remain in here or step outside for the remainder of them. We'll deliberate on the slate of candidates and decide on appointments this evening. I think if we have time for that, we will. Anyways, welcome and thank you for your time. The floor is yours.
Well, I'm interested in taking part in this, although I can't say I know a whole lot about the details of what I'm trying to put together. But I care a lot about art, and that's my passion, and I care a lot about Sandy and the appearance of my community. And as I understand it, it has to do with being a part of choosing public art.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I care about what I have to look at every day.
Perfect.
And I care about beautifying the community. And I've seen some other public art, not here, but in other places, that I wish I'd been on the committee for. So I just, it interests me to contribute in that way.
Great. Want to go first, John?
I'm not chewing on
Okay.
anything, so I can do that. Let's see here. What skills, connection, resources, and expertise do you have to offer and are willing to use on behalf of the Arts Commission?
Well, I'm an artist and an oil painter myself, and I'm involved in several art organizations, the Sandy Art Guild, Mount Art Online, and I participate in hanging at the Sandy Actors Theater and at the Ant Farm and various places around town whenever it's available. Expertise. What a really good one.
All right, I'll go next. I'm not chewing. How do you believe public art impacts the community?
I believe public art can make or break a moment. I think what we visualize, whether it's conscious or subconscious, has a huge impact on how we feel.
Carl?
Pamela, how would you handle somebody who takes a critical comment about the new public art that you would be involved in putting together, and how would you handle that?
If we approve something and they criticize it?
Sure.
Or,
Right.
and came to me with a criticism?
Yeah. Didn't like it, didn't think it was appropriate. There could be a long list of things and reasons
Well,
why.
I'd certainly listen, and I'd make the person feel like they've been heard. But if it's something that had already been decided on by the committee,
Would you take offense at it, or?
no, personally,
Okay.
no, not at all.
But you
I'm just
try
trying to think of how I would try to have this, make this person not take offense. And
Sure.
I don't know what else to say other than that I would hear them out and respect their opinion.
Okay.
And Do you have time to devote to being on the Arts Commission?
Yeah, I'm retired. And I have plenty of time
Bragger.
for art. I know. I know, I'm bragging. You know, that's what I want to do with my retirement, is be involved in art.
Great. And do you have anything in closing you'd like to say?
Not really, obviously, I didn't prepare a statement, I was coming to learn more than anything.
It's okay.
Well, we're just trying to put together the committee based on the applicants, the information that we can learn from you, and just a general feel of how we feel you'd fit in with
Yeah,
the
let me
group.
say one more thing about my involvement. I'm on the board for the Mounted Art Online, which I don't know if you all are aware of what that is. It's an organization that started about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, and it's local area artists. We're up to 26 artists right now, and what we do as a board is we keep track of all of the art happenings in the area, in Portland and here, Clackamas County, surrounding areas. We make sure our artists know about those opportunities. We make sure that we are aware of other organizations and what kind of information they're putting out, so that we can pass that information on to our newsletter subscribers as well as to our artists. It's a very active organization, if you want to go into it. So
Is that organization just here in the Mount Hood area corridor, or is it
It
expanded into
started-
Portland and outside?
yeah, well, it started here, and most people are Clackamas County. I don't think we've got anybody right now out of Clackamas County, but we're not restricting it. So as it expands, who knows where it'll go.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Who's up next?
Leah?
Leah?
Okay.
Mayor, when we transition from this workshop to the regular meeting, can you give Carrie about 5 minutes, because we had to do it in 2 separate agendas on the
Sure.
computer, so. Oh, did you? All right. Just looking out. I know, thanks.
Are you guys applying for the Art Commission? Is that what you're doing?
Hi there. Hello. How are you?
I'm not drunk, I've got a bad knee.
That's all right. I'm not judging.
That will not disqualify.
Well, I'm drunk, I don't have a bad knee at all.
He's joking.
We hope.
Okay. Well, welcome. Your candidate interview is, we're going to figure about 10 minutes. We're a little time constrained, so we'll give you 3 minutes to provide an opening statement and answer one question from each council member. Time management during the interview is up to you. You'll be evaluated based on your application and interview responses. If there's a pause between questions, it's because we're trying to wolf down dinner while we're doing this, so we're not trying to be rude. But we're also taking notes, so if you need a question repeated, please ask. After your interview, you may remain in the council chambers or retire to the hallway, and we will deliberate on the candidates and decide on appointments this evening if we end up having enough time.
So should I stay until then? Or can I go home after the interview?
Oh, you can go home after the interview if you like, and we'll let you know.
Okay,
So the floor is yours.
okay. My name's, most people know me artistically as Leah. Everybody else knows me as Karen. Top Cliff, I've lived in Sandy a little over 50 years. I used to be on city council, I sat right there. And I'm also on the Sandy Transit Board. And I'm applying for this because I was invited to by this young man back here, wherever he went. Anyway, my qualifications, art-wise, is that I've been taking art classes and painting for about 15 years now. about half of my paintings are historical buildings of Sandy. Not that there's a wide audience for buying those, but I love Sandy. And I love the history of Sandy, and so for me, I can only paint things I'm really passionate about, and I'm passionate about that. So I have a little bit of that historical knowledge because of that painting. I do know several of the people who've been interviewed already, highly qualified people, probably many or most of them with a lot more experience than I have in this kind of field. If I have to say that my biggest strength is the fact that I do love Sandy, and I have tried to stay involved in it, and then being a volunteer, I was a trip driver, I was a senior companion. When I first moved here, I was on the PTA. So I've tried to stay involved and be an asset to my community. Art-wise, I think I have an excellent eye for color and line. I have more than painting as an artistic background because I was, as I grew up, I was taking various dance lessons. For 8 years I took dance and acrobatic. And I started writing poems and short stories when I was in 8th grade. I have one book out that's been published. I had 2 local one local and one in Woodstock newspapers that I ran for a few years. And I was a columnist for what was the Sandy Post at that time, which was more locally run. And so I've got the music, I've got the writing, I've got the art from my background. And like I said, my biggest plus is probably that this is my town. That's about it.
Okay. All right, John?
All right, I'll take the first one. What skills, connections, resources, and expertise do you have to offer and are willing to use on behalf of the Arts Commission?
Like I said, I think I have a very good eye for color and line and placement of things. I am not just into having things painted on buildings or just having sculptures done. Or I would also, when I went to school, I went to Cleveland High School. That's the school I attended then. And they have little sayings over the doors from famous writers that were very inspirational. I'd like to see a little bit of that in Sandy, especially over our public buildings. It's amazing how much those things influence children.
Thank you very much.
Jeremy?
How do you believe public art impacts the community?
Oh, gosh. You know, I think that public art is almost a necessity of the soul. It helps to make the city itself look in a higher range of awareness of the surroundings and of the ecology around it, if you draw it in right. And I think that it also encourages people to take better care of their city.
Okay. I'm next. So how would you handle someone being critical of an art that you, as a part of the commission, would have picked out and put on some display someplace? How would you deal with, or how would you like to handle, think you would handle something critical of that?
I think that there's a good argument for rotating some art so that it...
Growth hating?
Rotating.
Oh,
yes,
rotating, okay.
So that everybody has a chance of having their artistic expression on display. Because one size doesn't fit all, especially with art. But criticism is not something that's, I mean, that's what, part of what art is about, is bringing out, okay, I like this, I don't like that, you know, what are the strong points of, it's one of the things the artists themselves do, is critique each other's work.
Thank you.
Well, it sounds like you're pretty active in the community, you volunteer quite a bit. Do you have the time to dedicate to being on the Arts Commission?
I do. I just recently retired as a volunteer for TRIP. And so My only other obligation at this time is the Sandy Transit,
Mhm.
which is dear and near to my heart.
All right.
Do you have anything you'd like to say in closing?
No, I just think that whoever you choose, I'm hoping that you will tap into varied sources of art and make it more encompassing for the city.
Mhm.
As opposed to just one medium or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, art takes a lot of different forms, and it all enriches us. Music, the art, the written art, the paintings, the photographs, they're all part of a package that makes us more than we are in a way.
Great.
Right.
Well, thank you. And thank you for your time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for volunteering on the transits.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Bring in Lou next.
Lou got it.
Who's next?
Lou,
So Karen Hoffman is a no.
correct.
Okay.
She's out.
She said.
And how many do we need total?
7.
7.
9. You have to tell the 2 people no. Make it 9-person group.
Good evening, Lou.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Well, welcome, and thank you for your interest in the Arts Commission. We're a little time constrained, so
Yes.
we're going to be fairly brief.
Okay.
Your candidate interview is scheduled for 10 minutes total.
Mhm.
You have 3 minutes to provide an opening statement, and then we'll answer one question from each counselor. Time management during the interview is up to you. You'll be evaluated based on your application and your interview responses.
Okay.
If there's pause between questions, it's because we're trying to eat our dinner up here, so we're not being rude. If you need a question repeated, please don't hesitate. After your interview, you can remain in here or go home, and we'll let you know, or wait out in the hall. We'll deliberate on the candidates and decide tonight, time providing.
Okay.
So with that, floor is yours.
All right. My name is Lou Senek. Moved here to Sandy a year ago in January. So about 21 months we've been living here. I've been a photojournalist for newspapers for more than 35 years. And I came up here because of my wife's health. We needed to be closer to Seattle from where I was down the southern Oregon coast. So I'm in the process of reinventing myself on what I want to do photographic-wise. I saw the announcement in the Sandy Post about looking for people with the Arts Commission, and it intrigued me. I'd like to know more. What are you guys looking for in the Arts Commission? I don't know if you've set up an agenda, or you have what you want to do as far as the Arts Commission goes, and stuff like that.
Well, I think really right now, we're just looking to find people who have different views on art and different experiences with different types of media, who can help advise us on what might look good in different places, so.
So you're talking, public art?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right.
So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no.
Sounded like a question, so I thought I'd answer.
No, that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
I've covered a lot of arts in my
Mhm.
career, everything from performance arts to people painting or whatever they happen to do as part of their art form or whatever. So just about anything, it's nothing, I can't think of anything that would be new to me.
Okay.
As far as how things are done, what other people experienced,
Mhm.
how things get done.
Okay, ready for questions?
Sure.
Okay, John?
I'll take the first one. What skills, connections, resources, and expertise do you have to offer and are willing to use on behalf of the Arts Commission?
I think basically what I said is I have a lot of experience with a lot of different people, many different art forms. I guess the knowledge and experience that I have seen with artists and in cities and places where I've lived all over the country, people I've worked with, And even just, you know, like I said, I'm trying to reinvent myself into fine art, making platinum prints and stuff.
Great. Thank you very much.
How do you believe public art impacts the community?
I think it gives a little bit of ambiance. Well, not only to the people who live here, you know, it's something nice to look at, but with a lot of traffic on Highway 26, you have to give them some reason that you want them to hang around, you know, even if it's just for a few minutes. And I think that if there's public art that's really highly visible, whether it be the murals or whatever, I think it'll click into somebody's mind to say, you know, either now or the next time, let's stop in San Diego and, you know, obviously before the, just to get the donuts. You want them to stop and get other things. You want them to look at other things.
Thanks.
Okay, I think I'm next. Lou, how would you handle criticism to something that the art commission might have recommended and maybe even implemented into the city somewhere? How would you handle criticism about the kind of art we selected?
I think it's just like working in the media for so long. Everything that you do is not going to please every person. And if you try to be the same thing for everybody, then I don't think you'd necessarily be doing your job. There's not everybody's going to like what you do,
Right.
and there'll be people who won't and people that will. You just have to, carefully balance it out and try to do the most good for the community. Not, you know, not everything that you guys do as a city council is welcome by the people.
What?
in town,
What?
but, you know,
Where'd you hear that?
Really? Yeah. You don't have to tell us that one.
No,
Yeah.
I would go into something like that with a full realization that that's going to happen.
Yeah.
There's no way you can be all things to all people at the same time.
There you go. It's perfectly said. Do you have the time to dedicate to being on the Arts Commission?
I think so, yeah. I'm not necessarily working now. I'm just taking care of my wife while we wait for a call from Seattle. She's on a lung transplant list, so
Oh, okay.
the only drawback would be if she gets the call, we have 3 to 4 hours we have to be in Seattle.
Right.
And we'll be there for a couple months afterwards.
And how often are we planning for the Arts Commission to meet?
That's something we haven't determined yet.
Okay. So that's still somewhat flexible. All right, you have anything to add in closing?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, thank you.
All right.
Quick question for you
Yes.
on a personal note. Did you know Ray DeLong when you worked at Herald and News? He ran the printing press
Yeah.
for years. He was my great uncle, passed away a few years ago, but I saw you worked at Herald and News, and I grew up in Klamath Falls, so home for me.
I think his son's still
He does, yeah.
working there.
Yep.
I ran into him a couple times. He and his wife like to vacation out in Winchester Vale on the coast, and I ran
Yes,
into
they
him a couple
do.
times.
That's awesome. Small world.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I'm going to guess the last one here would be Miriam then.
Mary McLeod,
She is the last one, isn't she?
yes.
Okay.
He was a photographer that did all these day in history photos for the Herald and News.
Oh, wow.
Super cool. I subscribe to him on
Oh, you have her?
Oh, really?
watch all the pictures.
So you're familiar with his work
Okay.
then?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
So at
Here's
this
a picture
point,
too.
Mayor Miriam is a no-show.
Oh, okay.
That's too bad.
She confirmed that she'd be here at 6, so.
All right.
Do you want to deliberate some of what you have so far?
I certainly could.
Yeah.
I've actually got 6 selected already, so.
Are we after 6, 7, 3?
7.
7.
Okay.
Review my notes.
Done with your check.
As I get older, it's hard to remember.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Like, anybody?
Thank Okay.
No plate for me. Wah, wah.
I'm still working on my
Cheetos.
I'm into the Cheetos.
Yeah, I
Oh.
Kim had those, and I'm like, those look good.
Yeah, the chips are tough when you're trying to listen.
I know.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
I'm like, yes, the mayor's crunching. I can get.
Wow. Oh, we're gonna rank them. Okay,
It's ranking.
rank them.
Are we?
I think we are.
I'm
we
gonna give
live?
a plus to the ones I think are good, and then the rest of them, we can talk about it too.
Carrie, are we on here?
Do we want to go into an executive session to deliberate, or?
No, we'll just have to do it
Okay.
by vote here, paper vote.
Similar how you did the council.
I don't know if I can actually just rank them or if I just put a check mark by the ones I like.
Yeah.
I think that's how I,
That's what I'm doing.
I did
Just
yeses,
plus
I
them.
did a
maybe.
no and a maybe.
Okay.
And that kind of put me at 7-ish.
And Karen Hoffman withdrew, right?
Yes.
Yes. And Miriam was a no-show. So
Miriam is no show.
we need
Four.
7, and that puts us at 8 total.
5, 6.
How you doing?
I was gonna
You
ask
want
if
us
you
to
could
pull
come
the
up and help,
table? Pull the table back
help
up?
them out there.
Slightly, that would be a bias.
You could report out on it. Okay. I'll hand mine down.
Okay.
I already.
New numbers, so.
Oh,
I'm gonna
you
grab a
had them?
little something. I'm gonna grab some
So you
salad.
just check mark them. Oh, good. I did the same thing. Good.
Like on the board, and I'm like, I'm
So
not sure if this is something
I
I'm
put a
doing.
question mark on one of them, but I think that makes 7. But
Okay,
I would say a question mark is probable, maybe,
okay.
or maybe probable.
So,
You know, a question mark means you couldn't make up your mind.
Oh, no. I must have a leak in this cup. People who have sculpture versus painting versus performance and on and on. Those and connections were another big thing too. People who knew people that could get some of that art pulled into the city, big stuff.
no, and then Miriam didn't show, right? That's the one that she didn't show.
This was actually one of the better League of Oregon seminars. I had 2 or 3 things that really poked out at me and really sharp stuff. I'll do a little bit of reporting back on
The
the
salad looks good, so. Secondary.
meeting.
I'm trying not to eat after 7 o'clock. So if I pound this in real quick.
That's right. That's really good for you too, is just gulp it down. You're not supposed to do that.
It's
I
not
can get
here,
some-
so I'm gonna expand into her space just a touch.
I get a second or 2, Wayne? Get something to drink?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. Okay. Remember, you're on camera. I just.
Ah, yes. It's a sign for Bill's Automotive.
All right.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yep.
So it's gonna be- Leah Topliff, Pamela, Marcia, Becky, and Adam all at 4 votes.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have, that gives you 5 seats filled, and then we have 2 people at 3 votes, that's Sandy and Lou. So that would be your 7.
Okay. I think we have selected our committee then.
Yep.
Okay.
I notice there's nobody out there, so we'll have to,
Yeah.
They all went home?
So Lori,
unless they're in the bathroom.
They probably didn't expect us to make the decision this fast,
okay.
knowing our history is that, yeah.
We're efficient.
We are.
Typically, I think our appointments have been rather divided.
Well, yeah.
Cut you off at the knees.
It was reverse psych.
Adjourn the meeting.
Okay, meeting is adjourned at 6:32.